Picture the stars above and the cells within your body, two reflections of the same truth, mirroring each other across the veil, their silent dance weaving a tapestry older than time itself. For millennia, the universe has whispered its secrets, not in the language of men, but in the rhythm of creation, in the pulse of light, in the unseen currents that thread through every atom, every thought, every fleeting breath you take. These are the secret teachings of the universe, hidden not by malice but by necessity, veiled in myth, cloaked in symbol, reserved for those who dare to seek beyond the illusion of form, for those who hear the call of the eternal and answer with the courage of their soul. Today, we pull back that veil, exposing the Hermetic principles, the wisdom of Theosophy, and the sacred architecture that shapes reality itself, revealing how the ancient maxim "as above, so below" is not a poetic flourish, but a living law that governs your life, your dreams, your very essence. The all is mind, the Hermetic sages declared, and in this truth lies a power you've always held. Your thoughts are not mere whispers in the void, they are vibrations, ripples in the cosmic sea, shaping the world as surely as the stars shape the night. As you journey with me through these teachings, you may feel a stirring, a remembering, as if your soul has always known what your mind is only now beginning to grasp. And in that remembering, you will awaken to the divine co-creator you were always meant to be, no longer a pawn of circumstance, but a weaver of destiny, resonant with the universe's eternal song. Let us begin where all true wisdom begins. In the shadows of ancient Egypt, where initiates walked the torchlit corridors of temples carved from stone, their footsteps echoing with purpose as they sought the mysteries of Thoth, the god of wisdom, whom the Greeks would later call Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great. Here, the Hermetic principles were born, not as abstract philosophy but as the very blueprint of existence. Laws so fundamental that they govern both the spiraling galaxies and the quiet stirrings of your heart. The first of these, the principle of mentalism, declares that the all is mind, the universe is a thought in the mind of the infinite, and you, a spark of that same mind, create with every thought you think. Imagine your mind not as a container, but as a tuning fork, vibrating with the frequencies of the cosmos, each emotion, each belief a note in a symphony that echoes across the planes of existence. Theosophy, that sacred bridge between East and West, takes this further, as Helena Blavatsky, the mystic who brought these truths to the modern world, spoke of a cosmic architecture, a web of consciousness where every soul is a thread, woven into the tapestry of the One. In her teachings, the universe is not a cold machine but a living, breathing entity, its laws not rigid but rhythmic, pulsing with the heartbeat of creation. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This is the principle of vibration, the second Hermetic truth, and it is the key to understanding why your life unfolds as it does, why some days you feel lifted by unseen wings, and others you're pulled into the undertow of despair. Your thoughts, your words, your very presence send out frequencies, and the universe, ever responsive, mirrors them back to you, as above, so below, the macrocosm of the stars reflecting the microcosm of your inner world. Consider the initiate in ancient Greece, standing before the oracle at Delphi, her cryptic words a riddle wrapped in a mystery. "Know thyself," she intones, and in those two words lies the essence of all sacred wisdom. The Hermetic principle of correspondence, as above, so below, reveals that the outer world is but a reflection of the inner, that the chaos you see around you is a mirror of the chaos within, just as the harmony you cultivate inside blooms outward into your life. Plato, the philosopher who glimpsed the ideal forms beyond the shadows of the cave, understood this too. Every flower, every mountain, every human soul is a shadow cast by a greater truth, a divine archetype that exists in the realm of the eternal. Theosophy echoes this, teaching that the physical world is but the densest layer of a sevenfold reality, each plane vibrating at a higher frequency, from the material to the astral to the divine. You don't need a golden temple to touch these planes. The moment you become still and observe your thoughts, you invoke the principle of mentalism, stepping into the role of the alchemist, transmuting the lead of fear into the gold of clarity. Think of a time when you felt the world bend to your will. Perhaps you thought of someone, and they called moments later, or you held a vision so fiercely that it came to pass against all odds. Was that luck or law? The principle of cause and effect, another Hermetic truth, answers this. Every action, every thought sets a chain in motion, rippling across the plains, returning to you as surely as the tide returns to the shore. In the modern world, we call this synchronicity, but the ancients knew it as the natural order, a dance of energies where nothing is random, where every effect has its cause, and every cause its inevitable effect. Now let us turn to the principle of vibration, the heartbeat of manifestation, the secret that the universe has sung since the first light of creation. Everything vibrates, your body, your emotions, the chair you sit on, the air you breathe, all of it hums with a frequency that resonates with the greater whole. Theosophy teaches that this vibration is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the material and the spiritual, and the Hermetic sages understood that by mastering your own frequency, you master your reality. Picture a scientist in a sterile lab, his instruments humming with precision, his mind locked in the rigid laws of Newtonian physics, until one day, a series of coincidences shatters his worldview. He dreams of a symbol, a spiral, and the next morning finds it etched in an ancient text he'd never seen before. He thinks of a colleague, and that colleague emails him with the exact solution he'd been seeking. This is no accident. It is the principle of vibration at work, his inner frequency aligning with the outer, drawing to him the answers he sought. You too have felt this. When you're in a state of joy, the world seems to conspire in your favor, doors opening, smiles meeting yours, as if the universe itself is magnetized to your light. But when you're gripped by fear, the world grows heavy, obstacles rising like shadows at dusk. This is the principle of polarity in action. Everything has its opposite, light and dark, joy and sorrow, love and fear. And yet they are two poles of the same truth, vibrating at different ends of the spectrum. The Hermetic initiate learns to transmute one into the other, to shift their frequency from fear to love, from lack to abundance, not by force but by understanding the rhythm of existence. Rhythm, the fifth Hermetic principle, is the dance of the cosmos, the ebb and flow that governs all things. The tides rise and fall, the seasons turn, your heart beats in a cadence older than memory, and so too does your life move in cycles, in waves of growth and retreat, of clarity and confusion. Theosophy speaks of great cosmic cycles, the yugas of Hindu tradition, where civilizations rise and fall in a rhythm as inevitable as the breath of the divine. But you don't need to look to the stars to feel this. Think of your own life, the way challenges seem to return in patterns, the way moments of triumph are often followed by moments of doubt. This is not punishment. It is the principle of rhythm, teaching you balance, urging you to find the still point between the extremes. The ancients preserved this wisdom in their myths, the rise and fall of Icarus, the eternal return of Persephone from the underworld. Stories that were never meant to entertain but to instruct, to remind us that we too are part of this cosmic dance. And then there is the principle of gender, the final Hermetic law, which reveals that all creation holds a masculine and feminine energy, a duality that births the new. This is not about biology, but about the interplay of forces, action and receptivity, will and surrender, the spark and the vessel. In your own life, you feel this when you balance doing with being, when you plant a seed of intention and then allow the universe to nurture it into bloom. Theosophy expands this, teaching that the divine itself is androgynous, a perfect union of opposites, and you, as a spark of the divine, hold this same balance within you, a creator weaving the masculine and feminine into the fabric of your reality. Have you ever wondered why certain people feel magnetized toward you, as if drawn by unseen currents while others drift away like leaves on a river? This is the principle of vibration at work, your frequency calling to those who resonate with it, repelling those who do not. Or perhaps you've felt the world respond to your thoughts, a moment of clarity followed by a sudden opportunity, a whisper of doubt followed by a stumble. Was that chance, or the principle of cause and effect playing out in real time? The secret teachings of the universe are not locked in dusty tomes or hidden behind temple doors. They are alive in every moment, in every breath, in every choice you make. The Hermetic sages and Theosophical mystics understood that reality is not a fixed stage, but a fluid dance, a symphony of vibrations where you are both the musician and the song. As above, so below. The stars above are not separate from the cells within you. They are mirrors of the same truth, reflecting the infinite in the finite, the eternal in the fleeting. When you align your frequency with the higher laws, when you move with the rhythm rather than against it, you step into your power as a co-creator, no longer a victim of circumstance, but a shaper of worlds. The universe is not a distant force. It is intimate, woven into the fabric of your being, waiting for you to remember what you've always known. The universe is not against you. It is waiting, always waiting, for your resonance to match its truth, for your eyes to see what has always been there, for your heart to beat in time with its eternal rhythm. You are not a stranger in this vastness. You are a note in its song, a thread in its tapestry, a spark of the infinite fire that burns at the heart of all things. These secret teachings, Hermetic, Theosophical, sacred, have been preserved through the ages not to exclude but to awaken, to remind you of the power you've always held, the wisdom you've always carried. Which of these principles have you unknowingly lived by? Mentalism in your thoughts, vibration in your emotions, rhythm in your cycles? Let your reflections spill forth in the comments below. For in sharing your story, you may light a spark that awakens another, a ripple that echoes through the spiral of existence. If this message stirred something ancient in your soul, if it called to the seeker within, stay with us. This is not just a channel, but a sanctuary for those who remember, a gathering of souls tracing the hidden architecture of reality together. Reflect on this. Let it settle into your being. You are the universe, and the universe is you. Awaken to this truth and watch the world transform.